Hello and welcome to the Disc Dungeon, in a special Dove Dive, where I am put onto the musics and melodies from the deepest, darkest depths of your computer disc. I'm the host of this particular Dove Dive, Joe Dove, and you're listening to the Disc Dungeon. Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Joe riding solo for the first time on the Disc Dungeon. Actually, not the first time. This is the second time since the passing of Neil Pertwee from Rush. And this week I am to announce that I will be solo for a little while. Not solo, you can't hear me, but solo in the sense that I'm by myself. And I'm going to do this for a little bit because Julian has had some great success with Audios. And he has been double booked mixing and music mastering with some of the artists that are on the label Audios. So he and Henry are diving deep into the music realms themselves. And Julian will return at a later date, and we will be glad to have him co-host the Disc Dungeon again. We have some exciting episodes lined up for you in the near future. We got new artists. I found my iPod that I sold on eBay when they were worth a lot for a little while, and with the finding of that iPod, in other words, I got it back on eBay for super cheap, and I connected it to my computer, and boom, I've got all those old songs that I lost back, and I'm super happy. So Julian is about to experience some songs and tunes from a distant earth. It's going to be so fun once we're back together riding dirty. I don't think that's the right way to say that, but nevertheless, I am excited to talk to you about this band that I was put onto named Lord Huron. Huron like the lake. The band is a folk band based out of Los Angeles, formulated by Ben Schneider, who started writing music in Lansing, Michigan. So if you Michiganders are out there, make sure you download his song or listen to it on whatever streaming service that you prefer to listen to your music on. The band members include Ben Schneider, Mark Berry, Miguel Bricino, and Tom Renaud. The particular album that I'm diving into is called Lonesome Dreams, which was released on October 9th, 2012. Each song is on this album is a homage to the writings of George Ranger Johnson's series of adventure books. The song Ends of the Earth is from the album Lonesome Dreams. It has appeared on many sitcoms. This is a fun fact. It was in the end in the last episode of Community, which I kind of vaguely remember, but it's been a while since Community ended. So that's pretty interesting. It's on Longmire, which my favorite actress, Katie Sackhoff, was on. That was a nice country western. And all folk music to me is like an extension of the arm of country. It's like reaching out to you and you know, augmenting itself into that vein. I feel like folk music is like a little bit better than country music because there's more violin that are like drawn out strokes, whereas folk can pick up a little bit more and it's a little bit more enticing and there's more instruments. Maybe not so much modern country, but it's a little bit better than it was. This song also, Ends of the Earth, appeared on the Netflix documentary Unbranded, and it was in a bunch of different commercials, including Zell's and Eddie Bauer, just to name a few. The band was inspired by Lake Huron itself because the lead singer, Ben Schneider, grew up visiting and playing music by a campfire off the lake. That makes a lot of sense. The whole thing is synchronicitous. They are best known for the song The Night We Met, and that had been streamed 725 million times. If I had just 1% of that, it'd be a different story right now, friends. Let me tell you, that's the dream, that's the goal. We're going to take this Disc Dungeon to the moon like Dogecoin. And if you invested in Dogecoin, make sure you invest some more. We want to get that up to $1. It's the big wow this week. The band logo is pretty dope too. If you ever look on the albums, or there's a lost vinyl from what I'm hearing. It's a little fun fact. But their logo is really cool in all the music videos. So I'm watching everything via YouTube. And I'm on YouTube, so it makes sense that we do all this at the same time. Make sure you subscribe to the To Be Seen YouTube channel, or visit To Be Seen, which can be found on the website To Be Seen, which is the number 2, BESCENE, like you want to be seen. So I'm going to film you so that you are to be seen. And that's tobeseen.com, or Insert Media, which is the parent company of To Be Seen and has a sublet most recent videos page of all the To Be Seen videos. You can get Comic Conversation, you can get This Dungeon videos, and you can get Trailer Fiend with Scott and I. We are super excited to announce that we are bringing a brand new show to tobeseen.com. To Be Seen on YouTube. It's To Be Seen on Instagram. Nevertheless, it's the number 2, BESCENE. tobeseen.com, a subsidiary of Insert Media, where you can also find To Be Seen. That's Insert, INSERT, Media, MEDIA, .co. Leave off the last M for savings. Anyway, Alicia is going to have her show, Alternative Angle. It's going to be a fun, super cool anime show. I am so happy to announce this today on the Dis Dungeon podcast and on the To Be Seen website and YouTube channel and so on and so forth. Alicia has a lot of energy, she has a lot of insight, and she can edit for herself, which is even better because she's probably better at it than me already. I am so glad to go back to this album and set my focus on Lord Huron. So I am going to dive deep into this album. Let me tell you, this album was a refresher. The lyrics were beautiful. Probably based a lot on the writings from George. There's just so much to dive into. It was great. Let's dive into the album highlights, shall we? Folk music. It's always the fun stuff that you hear and yet tap your foot to when you're in the coffee shop waiting online to put in that latte. It's the music, of course, that you sometimes hear at a bar when you're about to dive into some chicken wings. Well, at least for me anyway. Gotta kind of stop doing that. My face is getting a little bit too round. But anyway, I digress. It's best known from the Chieftains, for me at least, and Crosby, Stills, and Nash. For you guys today, you may remember that Simon and Garfunkel, or, you know, even more recent, the Decembertists, or Mumford and Sons, maybe without the assholeness that they bring, apparently. Either way, if you want to walk in your mind and just take a drift and leave all the troubles that you have behind, I always recommend a folk song or two to somebody, because the melodies, the fun acoustic guitars, every now and then electric guitars and slight soft drums are always a beautiful, blissful moment to the ear that just elevates you out of the pain of modern life that just kind of bogging you down a little bit. And this album was no different. Lonesome Dreams, an upbeat and really fun harmonic song. There are some electronic elements that come up in the end. It's very dreamy, just like I've kind of been saying earlier. These really enrich the music experience, and it sounds like you're traveling into a field of dreams. Out somewhere in the U.S., just walking. Maybe you're hearing some whispers. If you build it, they probably won't come because that's a movie. But anyway, it's just like a taking it all in, the scenery, the trees, the bugs, the birds, the bears, everything. It's just a beautiful way to experience life, is having this tune in your ears. It probably sounds amazing on headphones. It's a really great way to get yourself a taste of this band and what's to come. My next favorite song on this was Tide to Run. This is another great uplifting, but more on the country vein. Even in the music video, it's like a Western-inspired background. And it's a very fun-paced song. It's not like country music, which I feel like some of the songs, even though they're 2 minutes, are super long. Save Johnny Cash. But in this one, you get a lot of acoustic and electric guitar blending so smoothly together with no disjointing, like I've heard in so many different country music songs or folk songs in the past. They really do a great job of mastering the combo. It's as smooth as a water's flow. The magic of the song is in the themes of these background sounds. These absolutely amazing when you're listening to them in headphones. Like, I really suggest that you take a moment, take a break, close your eyes, put your headphones on, and let this album play. You're really going to be taken to another place. You're going to be taken out of your little apartment or your house that you're not happy with, or even if you are happy, you want to just take a break from what you're used to every day. This is a great album to put on your head and just drift off. We're going to hear wind chimes, humming, bells, just a full instrumental break that is a dreamscape that is expressed so wonderfully that I am glad Mr. Rob put me onto this band. Some of the lyrics that I absolutely love, I'm going to read them for you. I've no regrets. I will not ask for your forgiveness. Lower your defense. Run away with me and it all makes sense. I did it for you. Don't spurn me after I've gone through. No time to rest. I'm gonna find me a life, baby, way out west. You know, there was a once the American dream that led people to the great gold rush, and I feel like a lot of these stories that George Ranger Johnson wrote in his books, which ultimately got inspired this album, have a lot to do with that time period. George was born on March 11th in 1946, which is long after that time is gone, but that's the big era of spaghetti westerns on radio and television, where the Hollywood really dove into the whole dream world of the gold rush and the bad cowboys and robbers and, you know, all that fun stuff, and not so fun stuff with the reflection of Native Americans, but I digress. Next song that I really dove into and loved, Brother. Have you ever had a friendship or a relative that you guys are just so damn inseparable? Maybe a loved one, maybe a wife or a girlfriend that just match with you perfectly. You guys are just ready to take on the world or take on each other. You know, someone that's ready to go toe to toe with you in a fight, that's your damn equal, or with such a perfect match for you that you guys will stand together back to back fighting the demons of hell. Well, I feel like that's the ode in this song, Brother. This is an ode to people like that in your life. There are a lot of otherworldly chants that lead into the aspect of camaraderie that lasts for ages. And the lyrics, don't turn away, don't tell me that we're not the same. We face the fire together, brothers, till the end. Don't run away. Our time will come, but not today. I stand beside you, brother, with you till the end. I just feel like that's a perfect like bromance or, you know, romance or relationship between two people that no matter what's going on, I have your back, you have my back. We can throw down and go tussle and go in the dust and sand and scrap, but we'll still be by each other's side no matter what. That's a kind of friendship or relationship that transcends a normal understanding of two people, and it's just so beautifully put together in this song and these lyrics that I highly recommend you listen to this one too. Now, their big hit was another song, but their equally big hit, and they're probably most known for, the Ends of the Earth song. I have actually listened to this song more than any of the other songs on this album, maybe besides Brother. This is the song that Robbie put me on to initially, and it's, like I said, in so much pop culture that you've probably heard it before, and once you listen to it after listening to our podcast, I hope you do, you'll go, oh, yeah, I know that song. It's a sweet melody of love and desire to be with someone physically. The guitars and soft drums are a perfect remembrance of your crush in school or your first kiss. There's something magical in the lyrics here, too. Oh, there's an island where all things are silent and I'm going to whistle a tune. Oh, there's a desert that's the size that can't be measured. I'm going to count all the dunes. I was ready to die for you, baby. Doesn't mean I'm ready to stay. What is good lovin'? A life that you've been given. And if all you do is stand in one place, I'm on a river that forever follow until I get where I'm going. Maybe I'm headed to die, but I'm still going to try. And I guess I'm going to go it alone. It's like an embellishment of the exclamation of how much we're willing to put ourselves into the ideals of a relationship and how quick we can let it slip from our fingers. But we have to take that risk to make it work, even if it means our own life. Pretty heavy, but such a great song, you're not even realizing that. You just like jumping in the winds of love, man. The band just does a phenomenal job of telling their own versions of the stories of George Ranger Johnson. And in this song, I absolutely love what they did. It's so good. I highly recommend you listen to it. Honorable mention is She Lit a Fire, one of the books in the series. Also, and that's because of the music video. The song's also pretty good. It just doesn't stand out like the other ones. And basically, it means something to me because my friends from Brooklyn will tell you that inside joke. The video basically is them LARPing, and that's been a joke, an inside joke at my job with some folks. One that's not in the company anymore, but the other two are still there. And they'll tell you that that's a funny thing. Directed at me. So every time I see LARPing, I just start to laugh. And it reminds me of some better times before the big old pandemic of 2020. Friends, I'm going to wrap this guy up. I've had a great time just diving into this album. Rob, thank you so much for putting me onto this. And I'm actually going to do a double dive, as I'm going to probably try to get one of the books in the series from George Ranger Johnson, which inspired this fantastic album. I hope you take a look. I hope you take a listen and you do the same. Julian will return in the future, but as of right now, I am going to send you 6 stories of myself diving into discographies that you put me onto. Next week, Kayla put me onto Robo Taki. Really interesting band, a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to being back with you next week or the week after to talk about this one, depending on how deep I dive into it. This one actually took me a while because, as you know, I do a lot of regular day-to-day work as well as some things on the side for some of the churches during the pandemic, and it's been Easter, so everything's been leading up to the big moments. So we're all set. That's going to wrap it up for me. I'm Joe Dove. If you could do me a favor and like this podcast on iTunes, definitely give me 5 stars if you can. If not, hey, get pretty close and leave me a rating. Like, if you could just tell us what you think. Honesty is the best policy. I would appreciate it if you could do that. If you could share it with your friends, that would be great. And more importantly than anything else, if you could subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate that too. And share this with your friends, your enemies, your family. Just share it around. Get them out there. Join the Dove Dive. It's going to be exquisite. Till next time, friends.